Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for episode 4 of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, The Great Wave. This episode was directed by Wayne Yip, written by John D. Payne and Patrick McKay, based on the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien. In this episode, Queen Regent Muriel's faith is tested. Isildur finds himself at a crossroads. Elrond uncovers a secret and Arendir is given an ultimatum. So once again, overall, I am really enjoying this series. I will say this episode was a little bit slower paced than some of the other ones. There was a lot of setup here, so it definitely felt like a little bit of a transition. Uh, Also, there was one big omission, in my opinion. We did not see the Harfoots at all. So I hope we get some more Harfoot stuff in the next episode. So those were really my main gripes, I guess I would say, with this one. But overall, still a really fun story. Once again, let me go over the cast quickly. At least some of the people that we see on this episode. We have Morfydd Clark as Galadriel, Robert Aramayo as Elrond, Ismael Cruz Cordoba as Arendir. For the first time in my credits, Cynthia Adai Robinson as Queen Regent Muriel, and Lloyd Owen as Captain Elendil of Numenor. So yeah, this episode was very Numenor centric, which means was also very Galadriel centric, which is perfectly fine with me. I like all the characters from Numenor, including the Queen, the Captain, his kids, like all the stuff that's unfolding with them. I think it's a really interesting place, which will definitely. I'm very excited for the next episode, just because of all the stuff they set up in this one. Just a quick recap. So Numenor is this island that was given to men by the elves or by the Valar after helping them in the fight in the previous times. But at this time, the people of Numenor, they don't really ally themselves with the elves. They don't want anything to do with them, which is, I think, it's a really an important theme that always comes up during Lord of the Rings, right? The mistrust between the races, which is something to have a full conversation about, really. But in this specific episode, that's kind of what's driving everything here. There are some maybe foreshadowings or some visions of the future that really have put a lot of the people of Numenor, including the Queen Regent, making them very nervous of the appearance of this elf. So definitely, I think overall it's understandable, all their hesitation and their distrust of the elves, but I think I like the way that they kind of solve things. I think Clark is doing an amazing job as Galadriel. I really like her. She manages to have like this really stern look sometimes, where I'm like, holy shit. Like so even in situations where maybe she should put that away, especially like when talking to the Queen Regent or being held captive, stuff like that. So really, she has a very interesting approach to conflict, I'll say. But I really enjoy that, and I really like the character. And like I mentioned, I really like the Captain Elendil as well, and like just all the stuff that's going on with his family. Um, and I think, like I said, once we get to the end of the episode, some stuff, although it may not get fully resolved, I think we have a pathway to move forward. Let me real quick touch on Arendir, who finally was able to. He did not escape the orcs, which we saw so many orcs. We've seen so many orcs in the past few episodes. It is really cool. So definitely enjoying that. They look great. I think I like how they're kind of clumsy, but like still very violent. They're still very menacing, even though they move around kind of clumsily and they look kind of weird. And orcs are gonna orc. So really cool stuff. We also have a really big sequence with Elrond and the dwarves, because they're still trying to mend that relationship, even though we saw last episode and the previous ones that there's something off about their friendship. I think we are on a good pathway to maybe get that taken care of or mend that in the future. So really cool stuff. Overall, a lot happened, but it definitely happened to set up what's next. I guess that's maybe one of the downsides to serialized television, is that sometimes you will have an episode that it's not filler, but it's just a transition episode, right? We need to get from point A to point B, but we can't have just action, action, action on every episode. Not to say that there wasn't any action here, but there wasn't any action on the scale that we've seen in the past few episodes. But like I said, really interested in what's going to happen in the future. Overall, I'm still really enjoying the show. There's so much more I could talk about, but there's only so much time for me to cover everything here. So, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.